Hi, I'm John Paul Davis. Title of this is going to be Beyond Instagram, Using YouTube to Attract Clients and Grow Your Practice. Look, when I first started developing my practice, I went onto social media and YouTube wasn't a platform that I used. I suppose I saw YouTube much more as an entertainment platform. But first, I'm going to start by looking at those things, those huge benefits that YouTube can bring as compared to other social media platforms. And the first one of those is its huge visibility, its huge potential reach. If you're looking at attracting clients, one of the best things is going to be in front of as many people as possible. And YouTube is really one of the best platforms, I think, for providing that. Just to say a few of the reasons why. Of course, YouTube, as you may know, is the world's #2 search engine now. It's owned by the world's #1 search engine, Google. So when you Google something like, how to resolve conflict in relationships, as well as articles and that kind of thing, it will also put up videos, and those videos are going to be YouTube videos. So what can happen is when people are Googling a particular pain point or something, a question they want answered in relation to mental health and well-being, if your YouTube video does well, you could find yourself on the front page of Google search results for that all over the world. Like I say, it is a search engine primarily. It's entertainment too, but it's also used as a search engine. And that does have a bearing on the kind of videos that you might produce, which I will come on to in a minute. More recently, AI models are starting to use YouTube a lot more when they're producing content or providing answers to people. One of the reasons for that, YouTube videos are very well indexed. They have social proof. They will have likes, comments, little communities that have built below certain videos, which again, I'm going to come on to. And all those things, artificial intelligence, AI, really likes. So if we're looking at the effect of AI on finding therapists, finding answers to psychological and well-being issues, again, YouTube, I think, is going to be a growing source of content for that too. And just to finish off on potential visibility, all YouTube videos are now subtitled as well in all kinds of different languages. So if you're looking at global reach again, I think that's a very helpful thing. And my videos now, with lots of other people's videos, will be dubbed too in different languages. So it's not just the subtitles beneath. So visibility-wise, I think YouTube will be unrivaled in lots of ways. I mean, Instagram, those kind of things, the other social media platforms are also great in terms of their reach too. Lots of people are on them. But the title of this talk is Beyond Instagram. But I will talk a bit later in this talk about how I also still use Instagram as well, actually using the YouTube videos, clips from the long form YouTube videos, which probably brings me on to the second point, which I think is great about YouTube, really as compared to other social media platforms as well. And that is the sustainability of it, based on the fact that YouTube videos have a very sort of long tail. They are made not to disappear within 24 hours. The thing about YouTube videos is that you're building up a library of content and long form content, which I'm going to come on to next, as far as the difference that makes to people watching. But you're building a library of content which can be something which brings in and connects you with clients for years to come. One of the videos that was one that started to get subscribers growing on my channel was up 4 years ago, and it would still be watched. Now, not as much. YouTube does value recency. That's something that it's introduced recently, but it still gets watched. So you can put this long form content up, and it's not that it's going to, live and die very quickly. It's going to take longer to produce long form content than it might to produce short form content, from the point of view of the kind of sustainability and the potential in the future. I do think it's worth the investment, really. Also, if you produce 10 videos and the first 9 aren't watched particularly, then the 10th video is. YouTube will then start pushing videos 1 to 9 to those people that watch your videos. It is a slower burn, but the fact that it can still be there, still be connecting with people years on, I think is a great thing. The next thing, and it's related to the long form content idea as opposed to the sort of short form 30 or 60-second clips, the potential for clients to feel very connected to you and to make a connection watching a long form video as opposed to short form content. One of the reasons that I went on to YouTube actually to do long form content is that I saw that a lot more clients came through when I started to go onto podcasts. So when I started to talk about something, in that case with someone else, for 30 to 40 minutes, there really is very much more potential for what you say to really connect with someone, I think, to have an emotional response to what it is that you're saying. So I think YouTube, because of the length of the videos that you can record, gives much more potential for this relationship to happen, for somebody to be emotionally affected by what it is that you're saying. Also, as far as the kind of nuances that are involved in lots of mental health and well-being topics, I think YouTube for me fits that much better, rather than having to push something into a relatively short period of time. Over a long form video, people can very much get a sense of who you are, how you think, your humor, what your tone is like. And those things are great from the point of view of potential clients deciding whether you're a fit or not. Now, that's something that also, if you're looking at vulnerability, visibility, which I'm going to come on to as well, can feel more exposing. A longer form video is going to be more exposing. The downside of that, in inverted commas, is that people may watch it and think this isn't someone who I do want to go and see. From my point of view, I'm sure that is the case with some of the content that I've produced. I also think if you're looking to build a sustainable and aligned practice, the fact that people can really see who it is that they're going to be meeting and what that might be like and get an idea of what that would be like, I think that's actually been a very helpful thing and the effect that it's had on my practice, as far as the people coming through already being invested, already knowing and connecting with some of the ideas, has been a very helpful thing. Another great benefit of YouTube is how it works very well as part of the sort of marketing system or ecosystem. Might sound like a strange way of talking about it, but if you're looking at having a website, having directory entries, having other social media platforms, thinking about search engine optimization on Google, YouTube works very well with that. I mean, for the reasons that I've talked about, as far as a real opportunity to show longer form content, what I do on my website is have links to YouTube videos. So people can come on to the website and then they go through to the YouTube channel. And then there's all kinds of other things that they can see there as well. Similarly, on the YouTube channel, I have a link back to my website and direct people back to the website as well for to contact me and those kind of things. So those start to work together. On my directory entries, my counseling directory entry, for example, I have links to the YouTube videos. So people coming on to counseling directory would really be looking we're interested in mental health, interested in well-being, and again, going through to my YouTube channel works well there from the point of view of seeing who I am and whether they might want to come and see me as a client, and also then potentially coming subscribers to the YouTube channel as well. I also take the audios off my YouTube videos. It's very easy to do that with software, and I put those audios up of all my YouTube videos on a podcast. So then you're starting to bring in platforms like Apple and Spotify, all these ways to be visible in front of clients, to therefore connect with and therefore attract clients, and very importantly, as I say, to be able to really show clients who you are, so that they can be sure, to the extent that they can before they come in the room, that there's a good fit as well. Now, talking for 20 minutes about something is not therapy. There are differences, of course, in a therapeutic relationship, and even the kind of energy that there will be within the therapy room. Even so, I do think this longer form way to provide content and to be in front of people is very helpful from this aligned practice, from this making sure the psychography of the people that might be coming through work well for your practice. Next, with YouTube, from an income point of view, my YouTube channel is monetized. I get advertising revenue, so the little adverts that come on before, possibly during as well, you receive an amount. So it can be a passive income as well. The advertising side of that, of course, clients coming in and finding you through YouTube. More than half of my clients now would come through the YouTube channel. So there's the possibility for collaborations, sponsorships, those kind of things if the channel really grows. Through the channel, I now do mentoring as well. And it's not just clients that are potentially watching. If somebody's looking for someone who wants to invite people to speak at a conference, or for somebody to come in and do corporate wellbeing talks, those kind of things, for them to be able to watch a 20-minute or half an hour video and get a feel for who you are and how you present and what that's like, then I think that can be a very beneficial thing too. So it does open you up not just to exposure from the point of view of clients coming through, it's also different forms of income, different income streams as well. Personal growth, I mean, that's been huge, I would say, through YouTube. One of the reasons I was always a bit nervous was speaking in public. It has helped with confidence for me. It does help, I think, if you're trying to do a video on a subject, try to work out what it is that you think about something and then articulate that in a way that other people will understand. For me, that's all been helpful. It helps with client work as well. If I'm getting clearer about what I think about something, that helps when I'm trying to talk about something in the therapy room as well. So from a personal growth point of view, that's been great. You know, there's a lot of creativity that can be involved in it. One of the ways of making sure that your videos do well, I think there's sort of 50% of that, whether somebody clicks on it or not, is to do with the thumbnail, the description, those kind of things. So they're all ways to, if you enjoy the art of a thumbnail, you know, they're all ways of developing your creativity and having fun with something too. Similarly, I'm going to come onto it below, qualities like resilience, patience, consistency, focus, they're all really needed to sustain putting up consistent videos over a period of time. And that has been a personal growth thing for me too. And of course, managing disappointment if things don't quite work out the way you might want once you put in a lot of work into a video. And I will talk about that in a minute as well. So lots of personal growth can come with it, as with anything on any sort of thing on social media, as far as putting yourself out there on social media platforms. Then professional growth, lots of brilliant things here. Of course, when you put videos out and you put a range of things out, you can really see what people are worried about. You know, if you're looking at finding a niche, if YouTube is a great way, putting new videos out and seeing what people say in the comments that they come back with is a great way to develop that. You know, professionally, that can really help with honing a niche, a particular area that you might want to work in. I also have conversations with other therapists on the channel. And from that point of view, every time I'm having conversations, it's like a one-to-one continuing professional development session with them, and I record it for an hour and then I have to watch it to edit it. I have been editing things myself for another couple of hours, and every time I talk to someone, there's always something interesting, always something new that I can then bring back to my client work or life in general. So it's continuing professional development for me, which is good for my annual CPD requirements. And it's also learning all of this new stuff, and all within a platform which has all of these other benefits too. Two more things. I'm going to talk about community and then YouTube's artificial intelligence. Community, YouTube loves community, and I think it's more set up than other platforms for that community. Lots of different ways in which you can have community with a video. Little communities sort of set themselves up under a video. If it does very well and gets lots of views, you'll get all kinds of people commenting, mostly with mental health videos. I've never had any problem, particularly with people being abusive, even though, as with anything, there's a disinhibition effect of just tapping away on a keyboard. I keep an eye on all the comments to make sure there isn't anything happening that could be a problem. But you can really see, as I say, how this community can develop, and people start to answer each other as well beneath the videos. There's also a community tab on your channel, so you don't have to be posting videos all the time. You can keep in touch with people just by putting images up or quotes or just discussion points. YouTube always, like I say, encouraging, really wanting people for engagement and to stay on the platform, to be within communities. They want you to form community. And then there are YouTube lives. In the same way, there are Instagram lives, Facebook lives. You can speak to people directly. So community, a big thing, something you're creating, something you can feel part of. There's also a creator community of YouTube creators as well. And then just finishing off on, the good things about it, the AI. YouTube now has an AI function, which is brilliant at being able to identify all kinds of topic areas for you. It will tell you what your subscribers are looking for and the kind of questions that they answer and the other videos that they look for and where the potential gaps are as far as providing the content. But the AI is a great companion there. You're not doing everything on your own. It will tell you in your videos where there are significant peaks in people watching, or do people go back and watch particular moments. And from that point of view, that can be very helpful as well, because you can clip those moments out and you can put them up as shorts on YouTube, and you can populate your Instagram feed because they can be reels, and you can, or your Facebook one, or TikTok as well. So that's what I do from my long form videos. I take out out clips, put them on my other social media platforms. So again, if you're looking at YouTube long form videos as part of an ecosystem, those clips can be used to populate all your other platforms as well without much additional work. So, I mean, it's largely great. That's why I spend a lot of time on it. I just wanted to say a number of things for the rest of the talk, looking at things that I would wish I'd known when I started. Firstly, it is a very different model. Like I said, so it is a much slower burn. The likelihood, the probability is what you're doing is investing time over quite a long period of time. That therefore means consistency as far as producing videos, but a consistent pattern which is sustainable, not something that's going to make you burn out when combined with all the other commitments you have. So at the beginning, to think about what sort of pattern, to think about needing a consistent pattern and thinking in terms of probably months, possibly years, and would work for you, I think is a very helpful thing to do. As I've sort of mentioned above, this idea of there being results are unpredictable as well. We don't know what the content is that YouTube needs. You might put something up about something which you would think would be a more, commonly accessed video, like on narcissism or imposter syndrome or relationships. And then it's this one video that takes off. So views really fluctuate, tying self-worth to views. As with anything, any form of social media is not going to be a helpful thing. The way I look at it now very much is that I'm on it for connection and wanting to connect with people. Really, one of the key reasons I produce videos is I don't want anybody to be alone with the kind of issues that I was alone with. And it's that sustained me on it, really. It's not, ad income or subscriber counts or thousands or millions of views. It is that at times when I've thought I might stop, there's always, without fail, been someone who's either got in contact about wanting to be a therapist or something around an issue of sexual identity or whatever, and someone has commented below a video about how helpful it's been and said thank you. And so it's always that connection with someone that's been the thing that has sustained me continuing to produce videos over time. And I think that's something to focus on with it. And of course, those connections absolutely can result and do result in clients coming through as well and speaking opportunities and all those things. But, focusing on making a connection rather than making an impression, I think is helpful to bear in mind. The fact that it is search-based, unlike Instagram, unlike Facebook and TikTok, well, they probably have search functions, but YouTube is much more, it is a search engine. So if you're looking at producing content, it can be helpful to think about what question you're going to be answering. The description, the kind of focus of it, what you say at the beginning does really need to be geared to answering the kind of questions that somebody might be looking for, because also there's so much competition, again, as on any social media platform, for the videos that they can view. So somebody needs to be engaged quite quickly there. So the idea that you're answering the question, the thing that it is that they're concerned about, you're going to help them. If we're looking at sort of generally with mental health and well-being videos, I think that's helpful. Similarly, that helps. Lots of people ask AI questions. And if you're looking at pulling up a YouTube video for that, which is what it might be doing now, thinking in terms of those questions, I think is a helpful thing. I wanted to say something about visibility. One of the reasons somebody might go onto Instagram or TikTok rather than do longer form videos on YouTube is that longer form videos, I suppose, do get more exposing, possibly. Over 30 seconds, 60 seconds, it's quite quick, isn't it? But if you've got this more expansive space to fill, then that can be more exposing and feel that way for people. Also, if you're tending to talking about more personal issues, more personal aspects of your life, telling stories, those kind of things, you might get more into that territory, which can then get into a kind of ethical boundaries thing for people. I always will have my private practice and always have to be thinking about ethically, is what I'm saying aligned also with my private practice and my client work? So thinking about, what degree of visibility or telling stories feels comfortable for you psychologically and ethically aligned to also seeing your client, I think is something always to bear in mind. It is, like I say, true of all social media platforms, but perhaps even more true if you're having a long form conversation with somebody. If you're talking for a while, it becomes a bit more of a stream of consciousness and less focused. But you don't have to tell lots of detailed stories. You just talk about what you're comfortable with. If you don't want to tell personal stories, then don't tell personal stories. In summary, I don't think there needs to be this sort of performative or telling stories for the sake of vulnerability or authenticity. It's got to be what you feel comfortable with doing as well. And with all of this, of course, you have control of the edit with videos. Also, if you have other people on for conversations, you have control of the edit in terms of things that they say as well. And even if you go onto other people's channels and talk, if you say something which subsequently you think I'd rather not be on there, you can just ask somebody to remove it. Everybody will do that for you generally. And then lastly, I just wanted to say about low barriers to entry for it. I'm recording this on my phone. We all have camera and microphone on our phone. So it is not that it requires studios or expensive cameras. I have iMovie on my phone as well. So I have pretty much all the way through been editing the videos myself on my phone. I have more recently got an editor to do videos and have done a couple of videos with editors in the past. And it probably does help with retention, or definitely does help with retention and people watching longer if somebody's putting more text in and something is more interesting looking. But definitely from the point of view of starting, you can just pick up your phone as long as the sound is okay, as long as the lighting is okay, and then talk, and you can just see how it goes. It doesn't have to be perfect. When people talk as they do, everybody has these kind of vocal tics. Most people, when they're watching, are not paying attention particularly to those things. So thinking as far as it has to be perfect or huge amounts of detailed preparation, I mean, you can do all those things, but I don't think they're necessary from the point of view of starting your own channel and, just getting onto it and just seeing what it's like over time. As with anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Over time, the easier it gets to record something into a camera on your phone and talk as if you are talking to other people, because you start to imagine that you're talking to another person. So there is very much, as I say, the more you do it, I think the better you'll get. I think aiming for connecting to others rather than making an impression, aiming for connection rather than whatever perfection would be. Perfection's all in the mind, really, isn't it? And then just see how it goes, see what the response is. And most importantly, see how you feel doing it as well. Not just the process of recording something, but what happens when you put something out there. Okay, so that's a real whistle-stop tour of it all. But I hope that's given you a flavour of the huge benefits, I think, of being on YouTube as compared to other platforms. I hope it's also given you a bit of an idea if you want to start up as well. I do provide mentoring for people if they do want to set up their YouTube channels and begin this journey. So do get in contact with me through the website, or of course have a look at the YouTube channel, please, after this. That would be great. We also generally work with people who are looking to be and become therapists and make career changes, and also set up practices and those kind of things as well. So if those things are of interest to you, please do get in contact with me for that. Also, I am people's therapist, of course. So if that is of interest, please do get in contact. I look forward to hearing from you if you do want to get in touch. And if not, and you do want to go onto YouTube, I wish you all the best with it, and I hope it goes well.